Thank you, Mr. Timer. All right, we will now have our second speaker of tonight. Our second speaker is Anant. He joined the New Horizons Toastmaster earlier this year, and he completed his icebreaker a few weeks ago. I believe he's about to give his second speech tonight. So Anant, welcome.
What is the purpose of life? It's actually very simple. Whatever we do is to get to a better place. If you're tired at the end of the day and you go to bed, because you know you're going to feel better in the morning. If you're hungry and you're ready to eat, it's the same thing. Everything takes time. Time is life. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why I want to talk to you about your relationship with time and offer you some tips so you can get more out of life. But if you get more done at the same time, whether it's work or pleasure, you get more and you'll be more lightsome. So very quickly, first, if you're driving or running errands, give audiobooks a try. You might claim to be the kind of person that can only actually get something out of a print book. I have friends like that. The idea is not to master content, but to go through a lot of content. And that'll pay dividends later on. Two, when you're working on a hands-on task and you want to improve your focus, consciously relax your tongue. I got this out of a book called The High Performance Mind by Anna Wise. The logic is uncertain, but thoughts require language. And to express those thoughts, language requires your tongue. So there's a link. I found it works because I've used this technique to beat time challenges on Duolingo. 3, to be able to dive into your project at the start of the day instead of giving to your urge to check email. Use strategic incompletion. The Zeigarnik effect is our ability to remember things that are incomplete. So what should you do? At the end of your day, you had a project task. What you should do is identify the path to completion. It should be short and simple. And then you should head home. When you get in the next day, hit that task first and knock it off. And you'll score a win and you'll be amazed at how much more you get done. 4, learn juggling so you can reduce your stress level. About 10 years ago, I watched an educational video that said that if you learn how to juggle, you get more comfortable with letting go of something to deal with something else. I can report it was true. My stress level did go down. And you can take it from me that 3 balls is actually easy. With daily practice, you can get there in a week. So I fired off that salvo on tips. Now let me climb to the top of the building and talk about the time landscape. There's the time you spend at work. There's, the time you have to allocate to various activities. Sometimes you need to buy time. We've heard that when we're having fun, time seems to pass faster. So there's our sense of time. In the interest of time, we can't talk about all of them, but some of them. Let's look at work. How much time should you spend at work? I won't preach on that subject, but I want to offer a quote by the retired CEO of Honeywell, Larry Bossidy. He said, in performance reviews, I've had to tell some very smart 80-hour-a-week people that they need to change their work habits and that the 80-hour week is actually a major weakness. People like this often force their direct reports to be with them in the office on weekends and holidays. They run them ragged and drain the energy of people around them. I'll say, you need to come in here less, but your performance can't change. It needs to be as good as it is now. Learn to get things done through others, because if you can't get things done through others, you're ultimately going to sink or burn out. If they promote others on the basis of very long hours worked, which they will, because that's what impresses them, then those people are going to have the same problem. What about a situation where you need to buy time? You might have heard the name Chris Voss, who's an expert on negotiation. Let's say you're talking to the other side in a hostage negotiation or case of kidnapping for ransom. What should you say? Or rather, what should you not say? Remember DDCIA, don't disturb the CIA. Don't ask closed-ended questions that start with do, does, can, is, or are, because they can be answered with a yes or a no. You should ask open-ended questions that start with who, what, where, when, or how. So things like, how am I supposed to do that? What are our goals here? How can we make this work for both of us? Chris calls them calibrated questions. And his book is excellent. It's called Win-Win Negotiation. All right, so now let's say on the other side, you're a business and you want to buy or steal other people's time. What can you do? If you're a car salesman, think about why you might want to take the keys of the customer that came in to trade in and keep her waiting while you go talk to the manager. The longer someone waits, the more time they've invested and the harder it is for them to walk away. The cognitive bias at play in the situation is called the sunk cost fallacy. Or let's say you're an airport and you've already spent a fortune reducing the time it takes to deliver bags from the plane to the carousel from 25 to 8 minutes. What can you do to improve the customer experience? Should you go bankrupt trying to reduce that time to 4 minutes? Or should you find a way to get passengers to take 4 minutes longer to get from the plane to the carousel? What do you suppose they did? In his book, Never Stop Learning, Bradley Starts mentions the case of Dr. Booth, a total knee replacement, world record holder in total knee replacement surgery. And he says there are 3 types of surgeons: fast, good surgeons, fast, bad surgeons, and slow, bad surgeons. But there are no slow, good surgeons. So if you're good at something, you've optimized the process, and it's pretty likely that you're also very fast at it. So in the interest of time, let's recap. We looked at some tips. Fill up your empty time using audiobooks. You'll have more to say at social gatherings. 2, consciously relax your tongue. You'll boost your performance. 3, use strategic incompletion to ward off procrastination at the start of your day. And 4, use juggling to reduce your stress level. The 4th one, I'm tempted to throw in the story of Robert Houdin, a French magician from the 19th century. He was going to be a watchmaker just like his dad, but he accidentally ended up with a book on magic and he couldn't put it down. He didn't have teachers, so he had to train himself in sleight of hand. And he found a coach in the same town who could teach him to juggle 4 balls. To add the challenge, he trained himself to read while juggling 4 balls, and that's how he boosted his powers of observation. So there you have it. Time is precious, time is money, time is life. Mr. Toastmaster, I wish I had more time.
How crafty was that? Mr. Tiber, can we get 2 minutes to complete evaluation?
Sure. Make some more sheets.
Thank you.